Well, listen, tonight I'm going to have a real open, quick leadership call on simplicity. So if you're taking notes, write down simplicity. Simplicity. I'm going to kind of go through a little bit what Mr. Nelson says. So I'm gonna kind of role play this out. Let's say I'm an IBO on the call, listen to Friday's leadership with Mr. Nelson. And here's how I'm gonna kind of role play it out. And I'm gonna pretend like I'm talking to you guys, like just heard what he said. I'm taking notes as an IBO and say, so what you're saying, if I copy, Ms. Collins is laughing. So what you're saying, Mr. Byron Nelson, what you're saying, sir, if I understand this correctly, if I copy and study, the information what you just shared with everybody, and I go back to the channel and re-listen, stop and play, and write it down, I could too become a senior vice president. But by learning these conversations, that makes a lot of sense. The question is, how many of us would go do it though? I mean, I love what he did Friday. I loved it. Every person he called on was in sync with the message, because they not only listened to it, but they learned it, they wrote it down, and now they did role play it to a point it just rolled off their mouth, off their lips like nothing else. That was just so simple. But trust me, they had to work on it. See, in other words, everything we need to be successful yesterday was definitely a mic drop. Matter of fact, that was a building drop. We hear stuff, but how much of us do we implement it? See, second thing I want you to write down tonight, life is simple. Oh, and did I say Mr. Garcia, my new IBO's on? There you go. Mr. Cooper's is coming on. Life is simple. We complicate it. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Al Thomas, no, I'm not good at a lot of things. I know and every one of us know what we're good at, in other words, we know what we're good at, we know what we're not good at. I learned a long time ago, I always stayed in my lane. What I'm not good at, I have other people around me to help me to make me look better, or that are good at that in profession. I'm gonna use Mr. Bree Clemens, for example. I suck at this Zoom stuff. I'm getting better at it, don't get me wrong. But for him, being an IT guy, it's easy to do. It's easy, for him to put all this together for us, because that's his lane. So what I'm saying is, stay in your lane, and what you don't understand, have somebody else on your team help you with it. That's how you get good. That's how you build momentum. That's how you get better at this business. Man, remember the 4 personality types. Remember, if I run across a person, I try to put them with the person who have the same personality type they do. So keep it real simple. See, life is simple. Have you noticed it's real simple? People complicate it. Not you guys, but people out there, they complicate it. Somebody can break their toenail or fingernail. By the time they get around town, they broke their whole arm off. I mean, people want to exaggerate. They keep it complicated. So write this down. The third thing I want you to write down is this. The more you know, the slower you go. I know it goes the opposite of some of you folks I understand in IT and other. No. Our business is a fun business. The more you know, the slower you go. Now, I'm going to prove a point to you. The reason why this call is going to be short, because it's going to be short, and what I'm going to say tonight, you'll pick it up better. Now, I'm not going to teach you tonight. I have a young lady by the name of Jessica. Jessica Scott. Let me just say this. Jessica Scott, 16 years ago, was only 15. Jessica Scott saw me do a training in a penthouse, one of my RVPs in penthouse in Phoenix, Arizona. She saw me do this penthouse in this 8,000 square foot penthouse with a swimming pool up there. I mean, this thing, private elevator all the way up. She was there with her mom, single mom with her 15-year-old daughter. She asked, yes, you can. She's old enough to listen. Let me show you our business from a 15-year-old's mindset and through the eyes of a 15-year-old girl. This was a training that I teach on occasionally. And I was praying today and I dug it out of my archives because I keep stuff. This was exactly 16 years ago. So that would make her, what, 31 right now? But 16 years ago, she was 15. And I'm going to show you a training that I trained on, how simple our business is. Are you ready? What did it say? Now, while I was doing the training, this is her note. She gave it to me. Actually, I bought them from her. I said, if a 15-year-old can understand this, ACN, make it happen. Why can't we make it happen, y'all? We got too educated. We need to know all the ins and outs of everything, blah, blah, this. Now, in my topic of my training, here's the next page. Topic, training, 2 points. People, 5 points. Saving money is worth 9 points. She gave it a point system. Training, just think about training. Training. That's all we do. We train people. We train people on how the services work. Next page, training. Being an ACN doesn't mean you go door to door. Knock, knock. So simple. It doesn't mean we go door to door, knock, knock. This is going to be so simple. I hope and pray you guys don't miss it. Training. Can you imagine getting paid $20,000 a year? No. A week? No. A month. How does a 15-year-old think like that? Taking notes of my training, the possibilities that every one of you have. And hopefully after this leadership tonight, you'll raise yourself up to what she sees in ACN. Then she tells you what? Make it happen now, 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 Miss Diane, now, Miss Belinda Batiste, now, Kathleen Williams, now, Pat, now. Even the child sees this could go into action with this. Mr. Joe Mari Sharp, see the green? Now, look how big that now is. Look at that, Miss Marker. Look how big that is, Miss Akinko. Look how big that is, Chris McDowell. Look how big that is. Ariel, look how big that is. Miss Wayne, look how big that is. Mary Perez, now from a 15-year-old kid 16 years ago. Look what she got. How people are. People. There are 3 kinds of people. We try to call them apples. Yep, apples. We can learn a lot from kids. Red apple, a person who will take a chance and say yes. You should look for those. Are you getting that? Are you getting that, Freddie Sherman? Are you getting that, TJ? You should look for those. Don't keep going back to the same. Look for those, Marie B. Look for those, Marcia Carter. Mr. Jed in Canada, look for those. Green apples. Say maybe. Those are okay. Natasha Ismail, those are okay. Green apples, they're okay. Mr. Winston Herbert in New York City, those are okay. Does she need a big, extensive training to understand our program? No. Our program is so freaking simple. Now, here we go. You ready? Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Akinko, here we go. Rotten apples. It's a worm in the apple. Look how the kids see it. Rotten apples say no right away. Well, that's what I know. Rotten apples say no right away. That's all I know. That's all she knows, Miss Diane Collins. They say no right away because they're rotten. Got a worm in them. 16 years ago. ACN. Have money, take chance. Now look how much we improved it. We then dropped the price in half to $224, and we can make up to $600 in the first 7 to 10 days. This is so funny to me. Made by Jessica Scott. Ask yourself, why would Al Thomas hold on to this for 16 years? Let me tell you why. It makes total sense. Some of us looking for a miracle, a secret passage or secret handshake or what to say. Well, Mr. Nelson showed you what to say yesterday. That's just one of many avenues. I text him after the old one. I say, man, that's great. I haven't heard a good one in a while. That's an excellent one. I think if I were some of you, all of you, I'd probably go back and re-listen, write it down, re-listen, and start practicing. Because every person on there has been practicing that same thing over and over and over again. It's that simple. Some of you see me on Wednesday night, talk to people, never met them, sign them up right on the spot. It's that simple. But you're Al Thomas, they got nothing to do with it. I practice what I've done for 28 years, but listen, I had to get good at it. I started just like you. Now, I'm gonna say it one more time. If a 15-year-old girl could get it 16 years ago and understand our marketing plan and the difference in the apples and its people, that's all I got for you tonight. Because this is so simple. I think sometimes we take on all this stuff and we just don't go for it. I really honestly don't know what more to tell you. I was praying today. God said, hey, remember Jessica, just get out those 8 or 9 pages that girl did 16 years ago that I held on to. It just shows me from the eyes of children, they see it simple. We simply complicate. The more you know, the slower you go. The less you know, the faster you go. Now, you think I'm kidding? Ask Miss Natasha Ismail. She laughs at me a lot. You know why? Because a lot of stuff I don't know. Ask Mr. Bree Clemens. I'm telling you, people that know me, that are close, I mean, they know that I don't know. And I'm okay with that because I'm trying to show you, you don't need to know everything. I don't know and I don't care to know. I know where to stay in my lane. I'm good at bringing people into business. I have somebody else help. Hey, I'm good at that, but the rest of it, I don't have to know. Some of you know I don't do Facebook. I don't have to do Facebook. What are you gonna do, fire me? I mean, think about it. I don't have to do that. I do what I'm good at. Hey, I'm saying I can get good at it, but you know what? I'm happy where I'm, but see, I do well in what I'm in my lane. You see what I mean? So if I'm doing well here, why would I want to sabotage my own success by deviating for something that could work for me, when I know what does work for me, Miss Belinda? I do what I know that does work for me. I got another guy getting ready to come in the business. It's just out. I was out just stopping at the store just up the street here, and just he had a person that was overwhelming. I sent him a video. I met with him for a couple. We don't drink tea the other day, and didn't say anything about what I did. He kept thinking, okay, what do you do? I said, I can't tell you. It's the first interview. I don't know if I want to work with you. He said, what? Yeah, it's so funny. I always take it away from people. But see, that's my lane. That's my lane. Then I sent him the video later that evening, and he looked at it on the way to work today. He says, man, I'm in. You see what I'm saying? It's not that difficult. Some of you say, well, Mr. Thomas, I don't want to get out there. I understand. Go through your phone. Go through old phones. Write down A through Z on a piece of paper. You know, start on top. A, attorneys. Who do you know? Anywhere in the world. B, barber. Who's a barber or beautician? C, chiropractor. Okay. D, dentists or doctors. Who do I know? E, electricians. Just go down the list and let your mind open up to possibilities. I'm telling you, folks, there's more than one way to do this. You could stay right at home and build this, but there's no better time than right now, but you got to keep it simple. With that said, I'm done for the night. Because leadership tonight, I just been praying. It's like, guys, I had to go through all this paper. I got all kind of journals. I got lots of journals, like Dean's Rally, like Shaquille Cooper. I got journals and paper. Had to dig through. I mean, this is Think about it, 16 years ago. 16 years, and I kept it. And it's in good shape. Because I am simple. Life is simple. We complicate it. Does anybody have any questions on what I said tonight before we sign off? Because I knew tonight was going to be a short night. I just felt it in my spirit. And it was so simple to understand this. This young lady was 15 years old when she put this together. That was 16 years ago. Chances are another 4 or 5 years, I'll bring it out again. Teach on that again. Because our business is simple.